Today, I would like to answer a question that I've been thinking about for a little while.
Coros or Garmin?
A few days ago, I bought a Coros Pace Pro secondhand for £185.
Before this, I had been using a Garmin Forerunner 955 for the last year or two and absolutely loved it.
Sometimes you got to try new things. I also bought this secondhand for around the £200 mark, and with a quick Google search, you can find these watches are fairly similar in specs and capabilities. So I've decided that for the next week, I'm going to be wearing both watches to see what I prefer. 2 Stravas, 2 sleep scores, 2 heart rates, and 1 big question to answer. Okay, it's day 1 of trying to see what's better. So I've got Coros and Garmin, both 100% charged. So I'm going to put 1 on each wrist now. I've got a bike ride to do today. We're going to get training. I don't usually like wearing watches for like a really, really long time, but I'm going to aim to keep both of these watches on for the entire week and hopefully sleep with them, do all of that. Have 1 on each wrist and we'll get all the data. I fear I might look a little bit silly wearing 2 watches though, but who cares? So I haven't even set off yet. Immediately my Garmin's saying I've got a heart rate of 46 beats per minute, and then my Coros is saying I've got a heart rate of 83 beats per minute. That's quite different. They both managed to find GPS quite quickly, so let's get going. Okay, I'm about 8k in. Well, Coros says I'm 8k in. My Garmin says I'm 8.06k in. So incredibly similar so far. It's absolutely freezing. I can't feel my hands. I think I'm gonna ride to a coffee shop and yeah, get a little sweet treat. Okay, I think I found a coffee shop. We are about 16k in, 10 miles. Initial thoughts, the Coros is like, it's a lot more like plasticky. It feels a lot lower quality. The Garmin, it's like, I think it's made out of, you know, metal and like glass, and it feels a lot more solid. Got myself a salted caramel brownie and a coffee. Life doesn't get better than this, man. The only thing that would be better than this is if I didn't have 2 watches on my wrist. I was going to do 50k, but it's freezing, and I sort of just had a brownie and then didn't really want to do any more. So we're back. I did about 29. I'll pop the Coros on screen there, and then the Garmin on screen there. They were pretty similar. So a big difference between these watches as well is the Coros has got this little swivelly thing to swivel between your activities, and that's the button on the watch. That's basically, it's got that button there and then it's got a back button, whereas the Garmin has 3 buttons on this side and 2 buttons on this side, so it's got a lot more like going on. One thing I do quite like about the Coros is when you finish an activity, you have to, hang on, I don't know if you can see this, you have to hold down for 3 seconds for it to save, so you don't accidentally stop your activity in the middle of a workout.
Now, both watches seem to be pretty similar on distance, which should be the same across all models as they pretty much use the same GPS system. But what isn't the same is the way in which these watches track heart rate.
So this morning, I'm going to be testing out the heart rate monitors using this thing. This little band goes around your chest like that and should measure your heart rate accurately using chest-based ECG sensors. So we're going to compare this to hopefully what is correct. This. So if you're wondering exactly how this is going to work, I've got my heart rate monitor that's on my chest connected to my phone, so that's going to give me a reading on there, and then I've obviously got 1 coming from the Garmin, 1 coming from the Coros, so 3 different numbers. The weather is horrible, but let's go see what my heart rate's looking like, shall we? I'm actually a pretty firm believer that these wrist heart rates are just a load of rubbish, so we'll see, I guess. I'll pop both on screen for you along with the actual one, and hopefully one of them's pretty close. I've got 6k easy to do today, and yes, I slept with both watches on. So in a few days I'm gonna have some really good sleep data, hopefully, because both of these do have sleep capabilities on their apps. This weather actually sucks, man. It's wet and cold. It's like the worst that you can possibly get. One thing I do notice a little bit with the Coros is because it's got like it's got the spinny thing on it to change between data screens. Sometimes when it's under my coat, so when it's like in my sleeve like that, I'll notice it just changing, like when I'm not touching it. because it's rubbing on the coat. A little bit annoying, I don't know. 5k in, both distances are like spot on. They hit 5k at exactly the same time, but I'm not sure I can say the same about the heart rates. It does seem that the Coros over predicts a little bit and the Garmin is pretty much about right, but as expected, they were both just about wrong. I do think if you're gonna get a watch and you really care about heart rate, probably just get a heart rate monitor as well, but yeah, it looks like the Garmin was a little bit better.
After a few more days of wearing the watches, I was really getting to grips with how the apps worked, how to track activities, and just how the watches worked in general. I'll be completely real, both were very similar. One slight difference though is the price. While I did buy these both secondhand for the same price, if you were to buy them brand new, the Coros Pace Pro, which is also currently the best Coros on the market, would cost you over £100 less than this Garmin, which isn't even the most expensive. Both these watches do all sorts, from football all the way to sleep.
But there are a couple things I've noticed. So I've just finished a 10k run this morning, and with the two watches, they obviously both give you notifications. Interestingly, the Garmin, every single time, gets the notification first, a few seconds earlier. I think this watch is just, the technology in it must be slightly better, but it's so marginal that like, I really don't think it matters at all. And then on top of that, with sleep metrics, I've just had a little look at the last few nights and they're very similar, but the Garmin, it gives just a few more numbers. Very small amount, but a few more numbers. So I don't know. I'll pop what they both say about sleep on screen here so you can have a look for yourselves. I'm not sure. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, and the Coros, the way it's presented, looks so much nicer, so.
Oh, it's way too early for this, man. It's currently 6:39 in the morning, and I've got a long run to do today, but for some reason, I'm not doing it here. We're going to Birmingham. So my mate Flynn, he does park runs every week, but he doesn't do them in the same place. He goes all around the country. So this week he's doing his park run in Birmingham. I'm going with him. We're doing the park run and then 16k after. So a little half marathon. But today I want to test out the navigation features on these things. After 5 days of wearing two watches, it's safe to say I'm definitely ready to take one of these off at least. I'm leaning one way, but we'll have to find out.
Alright, we're here with Flynn. How we doing, mate?
I'm like, are you allowed to like record and drive?
Right, well, we're on way to parkrun in Birmingham. Which one are we going to? Oaklands. He's got O. He does A to Z parkrun every week. So he's got to do a different letter of the alphabet every week. This week's O. I'm gonna go pretty easy, and he's gonna go run a 16-minute 5k or something stupid. So I'm gonna do the park run. We're gonna get a little coffee, and then I've got to do a half marathon total. So we're gonna do 16k after.
And then I'm thinking another coffee.
Yeah, probably another coffee after that.
I'll be bouncing off the walls.
Probably something to eat after that as well.
Mate,
I'm gonna be starving. Oh my god.
Like a reward.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so parkrun, I'm obviously just going to follow the normal course, and then after that I'll use both the maps to take us on a little 10-mile route. A second parkrun ever, which is pretty cool. A little bit. I'm going to cross the line and be like last place. He's going to be first. Okay, we're off. He's so far ahead of me. He's all the way over there. This is sick though. This is so cool. He's literally about to lap me. I don't believe it. I think he's in first place as well. Yeah, he's finished. He's done. I'm just going easy on the bloke. You know, didn't want to embarrass him. Got a little Costa. Parkrun's done. Flynn absolutely smoked me. And this is probably the worst coffee I've ever had. He's just filming his little TikToks for his little parkrun series. So yeah, just little stuff's going on. Gonna have this and then 16k after. Yeah, I don't really know where we're gonna run. Apparently there's this like running event, because we're in Birmingham obviously for some reason. So we're gonna go down to this running event, I think. But We've got to sort out a 16k route before that. Get it on the watches, and yeah, hopefully get a bit of navigation going. Right, we're 2k in to the run, which is 7k total. Yeah, only 2k, mate. Only 2k. 7k total out of the half marathon. We've got the route on here. The Garmin's, I don't know, it's all right. I think the Coros looks a little bit more colourful. I'll put them both on screen now. I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah, don't run into the ball.
You know what I'm most scared of, mate? If these watches malfunction, how are we going to get back in?
Yeah, I've got no idea. We have no idea where we're going. We're just running, literally
watches,
just
right?
running like down the middle of a roundabout. What even is this? Where are we going?
Oh, mate,
Can we even run down here?
trusting the watches, I say. Trusting them.
No, but I think overall, like the Coros, the interface is it's so much nicer. It looks so much more colourful. It's so much better to look at. Like the app, the watch, everything like that. And the maps are pretty similar. So I don't know. We'll finish off this run. But I don't know. Look at that. It's just colours. It's just nice things going on. But then, as I've heard, the Garmin, I think it's a little bit more accurate. So yeah, I'm gonna finish off this long run, and then I'll do a full review tomorrow. Alright, the watches have taken us wherever this is. We're in the absolute middle of nowhere. Don't know where we're going, don't know where we are. Don't even know the way back, to be honest, but I don't think it's the watches' fault. It's probably our fault. Yeah, I mean, I could follow either of these. They're both decent, right? Navigation's fine. No issues.
I think it's player issues rather than watch issues.
I think it's user error rather than
silly games, silly prizes.
Yeah,
Watch in the middle of nowhere, and it's honestly, it's trying its hardest. It's like a swan. It looks good on top, but underneath it's like this, paddling for its life.
Finished off the run, honestly had no problem navigating with either of these. Did have a little problem because we actually had to go run a half marathon, but other than that, it was fine.
I'm knackered. I'm absolutely knackered. It's Sunday. I've just got back from my second long run. This is my total kilometres for the week, and it's time to make a decision. But first, I want to take you guys on a quick tour of both of the apps that these have to offer, because they're actually like very different, like very, very different. And you'd be surprised if you haven't tried both. Firstly, we're going to go into Coros. So we've got daily stuff at the top. We've got my most recent run. We've got, it can build me a plan here if I want to. Weekly training load. So both of these apps offer a weekly training load. And this here reckons I'm roughly in the suggested, which is pretty good. Training status. So it gives you all of these different numbers. Excessive optimized maintaining. It reckons I'm optimizing my training. Well, that's pretty bloody good, isn't it? It reckons I'm absolutely cooked. I've got 25% recovery, so that's not very good. And yeah, you know, running fitness. I think it gives you, VO2 max here. Interestingly, it thinks my VO2 max is 56. Garmin also thinks my VO2 max is 56, so very similar there. Threshold pace. I think it's all laid out so nicely. And then when we go into sleep here, it gives you how long you slept for. Both watches give me a very similar like sleep metrics, and they both think that I've slept for a very similar amount of time. This is what the Garmin app is looking like. So we've got fairly similar, you know, like productive. VO2 max is the same there. HRV status, it's all very similar stats, but personally, I think this looks a lot worse. This page here. So personally, I think, because this is the sort of settings page, I think the home page with Garmin has a lot less to offer than the home page with Coros. You see, there's so many more stats here. There's so much more going on. And it just looks so much nicer than this, like, in my opinion. Let's have a quick look at the activities. So if I go and just have a look at, let's say this one here. Obviously they're both so similar in distance, like 70 meters off. This is the Garmin one, this is the map you get here. I think that looks awful. This is the Coros one, and it just looks more put together, you know what I mean? It looks nicer. These are the graphs you get. It all looks sort of well done. And then you go over to Garmin and you get these, which I don't know, it's not presented in the same way for me. It's not as nice. I mean, it is the same stats. Everything is the same. And with the batteries on these two, the Coros is on 34%, the Garmin is on 24%. So the Coros has done a little bit better here. Final verdict, which one am I going to put on my wrist? It's the Coros. It's got to be the Coros. They're this close on data and statistics, but the Coros wins purely on the way everything looks and the way everything is presented to me. Partially on battery life as well, but I mean, you know, they're quite similar. Just watching. See you later.